Good afternoon. Today we will continue to study about the conjunctions, especially the coordinating conjunction. In this class, we will start to study from the roles of a conjunction. A conjunction to reveal the relationship between the two clauses. Practice is the role to reveal the intention of the speaker to link the two clauses. The speaker applies the proper conjunction that reveals the logical and structural relationship between the two clauses. The conjunction in a clause which another clause practices the role of a constituent completes the structure of either a clause or both clauses. This means that a conjunction can have a role as a subject, an object, or a complement in a subordinate clause, and the conjunction completes the structure of the subordinate clause. And this conjunction, the other conjunction, which is the coordinating conjunction, completes both clauses in a sentence. The speaker applies the coordinating conjunction to link equivalent clauses because a clause does not constitute another clause. So this can be the definition of a coordinating conjunction. A coordinating conjunction completes a sentence while linking the two coordinating clauses. Because a clause does not constitute another clause. A clause does not have a structural role in the other clause. So we will start to study about the coordinating conjunction from now on. The speaker links the two clauses in the complete structure with the coordinating conjunction that is a constituent of a sentence. We studied about the four constituents of a clause, and as we study the sentence, that a clause or more than two clauses can constitute. So we can say that the conjunction is a constituent of a sentence, not as the constituent of a clause, but as the constituent of a sentence, because a sentence can be constituted by a clause or more than two clauses. We feel the necessity of the conjunction when we link the two clauses. The speaker links the two clauses with a coordinating conjunction to convey the integrated intention. The speaker applies the subordinating conjunction to link. The speaker applies the subordinating conjunction to link two clauses because one of the two clauses constitutes the other clause. This is the explanation of a subordinating conjunction. The subordinate clause starts with the subordinating conjunction. We can discern the subordinate clause as the subordinate clause is the subordinate clause follows the subordinating conjunction. So we can say that the the resting part of the subordinating conjunction, is the subordinate clause of the whole sentence. The subordinate clause is linked by the subordinating conjunction to the main clause. The clause that the subordinate clause is linked to is called the main clause. This is the role. This is the roles of a subordinating conjunction. The subordinating conjunction in the subordinate clause practices the role of a pronoun, a determiner, or an adverb in the subordinate clause according to the role of the subordinate clause in the main clause. According to the role of the subordinate clause in the main clause, the subordinating conjunction has the proper trait, which is listed in this part: a pronoun, a determiner, an adverb, or an adverb. We can make sure that the subordinating conjunction itself has the trait of this in a subordinate clause, and the subordinate clause itself has a role in the main clause. First, the subordinating conjunction with a trait as a pronoun is applied to link the subordinate clause as a pronoun to indicate a subject or an object, or as an adjective to describe a subject or an object in the main clause. The subordinating conjunction whose trait is classified as a pronoun is applied to indicate a subject or an object in the main clause, or the subordinating conjunction with a trait of a pronoun can be applied in the subordinate clause that has the trait as an adjective for a precedent in the main clause. In this case, we can say that the whole subordinate clause has the trait as an adjective to describe the precedent, a subject or an object in the main clause. We can say that this is the precedent of the main clause. What about this case? The subordinate clause can have the trait as an indication. Like, I think that you're good. The clause that you're good has the trait as an object of the transitive verb think in the main clause. So in that case, we can say that the pronoun that has the trait of a pronoun, and this pronoun links the whole subordinate clause to the main clause as the object of the transitive verb think. So additionally, we can say that the pronoun that as the subordinating conjunction indicates the whole subordinate clause. The subordinating conjunctions that have the trait of a pronoun are that, as we studied before, whether also has the trait of an adverb. Whether can be applied as an adverb. Who, whose, what, which, all, and etc. The noun or pronoun in the main clause to indicate a subject or an object, and the subordinating conjunction as a possessive determiner in the subordinate clause, which is indicated as a subject that another object belongs to, are in the relationship of the indication and the description. We can think of the determiner whose. So the subordinate clause linked by the possessive determiner is the description about the object that belongs to the subject in the main clause. Like, I know a boy whose dog is very cute. In this sentence, we can say that a boy is the president in the main clause, and whose indicate the boy in the main clause. And rather than the indication, we can say the determiner whose has the role of the description for the noun dog. So we can say that the determiner whose can be understood, can be interpreted in this way. The boys the description about the object that belongs to the subject. The subject means the boy, and the object means the dog in the subordinate clause. The subordinating conjunction that has the trait of a possessive determiner is whose. The third one, the subordinating conjunction as an adverb specifies the experience, condition, or action to describe the subject or object or the existence of the subject or object. That is the premise of the description about the subject or object in the main clause. The subordinating conjunction that has a trait of an adverb is for when, where, how, or why. So the subordinate clause linked by the subordinating conjunction that has the trait as an adverb has the trait as an adverb in the main clause. So we can say the subordinating conjunction that has the trait as an adverb is applied with the accorded precedent. For example, the adverb when is applied with the precedent that indicates a point in time, like the time. So we can basically understand the application of the relative adverb related to the definition of the precedent, because the speaker applies the subordinating conjunction when the speaker intends to specify the precedent, the time related to the information about the moment specified by the subordinate clause. This is obvious, we can say that we can describe a moment like a period or the weekend. We can say let's say about the weekend. I like the weekend when my family has pizza as dinner. In this sentence, I describe the precedent, the weekend, related to an event described in the subordinate clause. We can describe a period with the related experience, condition, or action of the subject in the subordinate clause. That can be the moment, that can be sorry. It can be the moment that we feel the necessity of using, applying the relative adverb. So the subordinate clause linked by the subordinating conjunction, next one. The subordinating conjunctions that have the trait of an adverb are conjunctive adverbs if, when, and relative adverbs when, where, how, and why.